provide. Today's webinar has been thoughtfully divided into multiple segments. We will begin with understanding rules, eligibility, AI tools, plagiarism to avoid, and audience engagement and research technique. And then we will finally conclude with questionnaire round. Without taking much time, I would like to invite our first speaker, Krish, who will tell us about the rules, eligibility criteria. All yours, Krish.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, Krish, you are.
दोस्तों, सीए की तरह यहाँ भी हमें बहुत सारे अटेम्प्ट्स मिलते हैं, लेकिन एग्जाम्स में हम तो कितने भी अटेम्प्ट्स दे सकते हैं, पर कॉन्फ्रेंस में हमको सिर्फ 2 ही अटेम्प्ट्स मिलते हैं. Good evening, everyone. Let's start with a quick question, and I want you to actually think about this. How many of you had a brilliant idea, a topic you were genuinely excited about, but then you opened the submission form, stared at it for 5 minutes, and then closed the tab? Yeah, I thought so. And honestly, that's not your fault. Nobody told you the clear rules. You know, I once asked my senior CA student how to submit the form. He looked at me and said, Beta, just submit and pray. That is not the advice we are giving you today, I promise. Well, today, I'm going to change that. My name is Krish Sonkya, and in next 8 minutes, I'm going to walk you through everything. Eligibility, topic selection, and exactly how you submit your PPT, research paper, and video on the Google form provided by the CA Institute, and how to send everything correctly via email to your step by step. By the time I'm done, you will have zero excuses to not participate. Let's go. First things first, who can participate and how many times? The CA Institute's paper presentation competition is open to all registered CA students, foundation, intermediate, and final levels. Some events are level specific, so always check the official circular for your level. But here's the rule that most students don't know, and it's a big one. A CA student can participate in a national level conference only twice in a financial year. That's it, only 2 chances. So please don't be that person who says, yeah, I'll just participate in every event and see what happens. Right? You get only 2 shots. Use them like they cost money, because your presentation time, your preparation time definitely does. Here's what else matters for eligibility. You must be actively enrolled as a student when you submit your form. You can participate individually or in pairs depending on the event format. Students who have already qualified CA are generally not eligible for student level events. Pro tip: before registering, check how many times you have already participated in the financial year. The institute maintains records. Don't risk your disqualification over something this simple. 2 chances. Make both of them count. Now, here's where most students make their first mistake. They pick a topic randomly. They think, this sounds fancy. Let me go with this. That is a wrong approach. Topic selection is a strategy, not a lot. Choosing a topic randomly is like going to a restaurant with eyes closed and pointing at the menu. Sometimes you get a butter chicken. Sometimes you get something you can't even pronounce. And then you have to present it in front of the jury for 10 minutes. Don't do that. Here's my 3 filter framework for choosing the right topic. Filter 1, relevance. Ask yourself that whether this topic is relevant to CA profession, finance, taxation, or auditing. The jury wants substance, and that connects in the real world of accounting and commerce. Topics like GST returns, MSME financing, sustainability reporting, or forensic accounting, these scream relevance. For example, the moment where I presented my paper, my topic was forensic accounting. Filter 2, researchability. Can you actually find that data, case studies, and credible sources regarding this? A brilliant sounding topic with no research material will destroy your paper. Choose something where you can back every claim, every number with evidence. Filter 3. Your genuine interest. This is one the people ignore most. If you're not excited about your topic, the audience won't be neither. Passion is contagious. Pick something that when someone asks you about it at 11 p.m., you'll still want to discuss about it. Run every potential topic through these three filters. The one that passes all these three, that's your topic. And remember, once the topic is submitted, changes may not be permitted. So take this decision very seriously. All right, you are now eligible. You have picked your topic. Now let's talk about how to actually submit. And this has two parts that both needs to be completed. First, part A, the Google form. Second, the email to your branch. Miss either one and your submission is incomplete. Let me walk you about it. First, Google form. The CA Institute provides a Google form link, usually shared via official ICI Institute, your branch notice board, or student email. Bookmark the link the moment you find it. Now, this form typically asks for three permissions. First, your research paper. This is your return document, usually 15 to 25 pages long, including a title page with your name, registration number, and branch. An abstract of 200 to 300 words, introduction, body sections, conclusions, and references. Format it clearly, Times New Roman, size 12, 1.5 line spacing, and save it as PDF. Name your file properly, like paper presentation with a name with it and registration number. This shows professionalism before anyone even opens your document. I have seen files named Final, Final version 3, actually Final. Don't be that person. One clean file name, that's all. Second, your PowerPoint presentation. Your PPT should be the visual companion of your paper, not a copy paste of it. Keep it to 12 to 18 slides maximum. Each slide a clean heading, maximum 5 bullet points in each slide, and at least one visual representation wherever possible. Use a consistent color theme and a readable font. You are a CA student. Your PPT should sound like it belongs to a boardroom. Third, your presentation video. This one catches people off guard. The video is usually 3 to 5 minutes long of what you are presenting your paper. Camera on, clear audio, good lighting. You don't need a studio. You need a quiet room, a decent smartphone camera, a natural light from your window. Dress professionally. Speak clearly. Speak confidently. Look at the camera like you are talking to a real audience because you are. Filing the Google form. Fill every single field. Don't skip anything. Common fields like full name, registration number, ICI branch name, topic, title, level at which you are, foundation, inter, final, and upload links or the attachment file. Before hitting submit, check the links are accessible. Set your drive file to anyone with the link can view. Now, let me come to the second part of submission. Part B, email to your branch, and listen carefully. This is critical. Now, here's the step that many students forget, and it costs them their participation. You also need to send all your documents directly to the email address provided by the ICI branch within the specified deadline. This is separate from the Google form. Think of the form as your online registration and email as your official submission to your branch committee. Your email should include all the following attachments. First, your research paper, which will be submitted as a PDF. Second, your PowerPoint presentation as a PPTX format. Your video link or your video, which is compressed enough so that it can be synced, or any other document mentioned in the branch circular. Think of email and Google Form, like wearing both belt and suspenders. Do you need both? Maybe not, but you are going to risk your presentation falling apart. Absolutely not. Set both every time. The deadline is non-negotiable. The branch will not accept submissions after the cutoff, even by 1 hour. So the golden rule, submit everything at least 2 days before the deadline, both the form and the email. So to summarize, confirm your eligibility. Remember, only 2 national conferences per financial year. Choose your topic using the 3 filter framework which I have provided. Submit a clean paper, a visual PPT, and a professional video via Google Form. And send everything to your branch with the email within the specified time. The process is simple when you know it. And now you know it. Preparation starts today, not tomorrow. Today. Thank you so much. Stay tuned because up next, I will be talking about the mistakes that even well prepared students make and exactly how the jury scores you. You absolutely don't want to miss that. Thank you.
Thank you, Krish, for setting the perfect start for today's session. Because before creating a great presentation, it's important first to understand where to begin, how to choose the right topic, and how the entire process actually works. Now that we have understood the basics, let us move towards the heart of our very strong paper presentation, the research itself. I would now like to invite Vedi to guide us through this. Vedi.
Hello everyone, am I audible?
Yes, Vedi.
So talking about the research paper part, we divide our entire process of preparing a research paper into 3 steps. First, we talk about the structure of the paper, in which we talk usually about the format of how the research paper is going to look like. And the actual research part, that the topic that you selected, how to do the actual research on that particular topic. And third part, combining all the information that you have researched and presenting it in a way that it looks visually appealing and presentable to submit as a prerequisite for your application. So when we talk about the structure part, that is the format, we can divide our entire paper into 3 basic parts. First is the cover page, second is the body, and third is the last page. So in the cover page, that is the first part, that is the section that appears at the first when any selector or any evaluator opens your research paper. So that usually should contain the name of the conference that you have applied to, the top name of the topic, name of the branch for which you are applying, or your own name and brief introduction about your own self. The first impression of the paper should look like that this person who is applying is very qualified and is very professional and has mentioned mentioned all the guidelines and has covered all the guidelines. Then talking about directly to the last page of the paper can contain the brief bio of the presenter, like what are my achievements, what are the things that my previous experiences as regard to the research paper, the aim and objective that I want to deliver through this paper. Third comes the most important part, that is the body or the content part. As we all know that usually the limit for the research paper is around 1500 to 2000 words. It can vary according to different guidelines as per the conference or as per the branch, but usually it's 1500 to 2000 words. So we have to try and restrict our entire paper into within this guideline. That this is a very important point to be noted, that our word limit should never exceed the given limit as prescribed by the branch. Sorry.
Sure.
So while preparing a research paper, we can divide our entire paper into different sections. That first I'm talking about how the research paper format should look like. Then we'll Sorry, everybody. So first, we are talking about the structure, that how the research paper looks like, and then we'll move on to the actual research part, that how to do research for a paper. First of all, the word limit should limit yourself between 1500 or 2000 words, or the limit that is being prescribed by the branch or the conference. Second, you have to divide your entire paper into different sections. That could include 4 to 5 major heads, and then in each major head there can be small subheads, and in that subheads try to make it presentable in the form of bullet points or in the form of charts or graphs to make it visually appealing, and so that the evaluator who one sees it, or anyone who sees the research paper, is easily able to understand what are you trying to portray or what are you trying to make them understand about the paper. See, it's not only about what you get from the paper, but the evaluation is based on that how well you have researched and how well you know about that topic. So once you have divided your entire paper into headings and subheadings, then each subheadings into bullet points. Okay? This is the very primary basic structure that a research paper should look like. Moving on to the actual research part. First, when you have the topic which you have selected can be either a topic that you know something about, or it can be a topic that you don't know. So first of all, you have to do the entire research. First of all, you yourself have to know that I know enough about the topic so that I can be on the stage and present it in a way so that even if I fumble, I know knowledge in my head that I can deliver it to the audience. So first of all, when you have selected the topic, go out on the First, when you have selected the topic, go search the internet, use more different AI tools or different platforms to research your entire, and make a draft Word or draft file in which whatever information you think is important for that topic, you start putting that information on that Word document. At this time, you don't have to adhere to word limit. You are just filtering out the information that you're finding on the internet that is relevant for your research paper, so that further you can further bifurcate it and put it in your final draft. So first, make a draft Word file and include all the information that you think is relevant for that topic. Okay, you can use different platforms like Google, YouTube, or some AI tools like Perplexity, which is really good for researching. Okay, from the very start, you only have to, while also you are searching for the information, there is abundant information that is presented on the internet, but you only have to select the information that you think that it would be relevant for your paper. After that, once you have on a draft paper, according to the headings and subheadings that you have chosen for your topic, you have to just put the information on that topic. That is usually the way I do the research. I first put all the information on a draft paper and then bifurcate that information according to the heads and the subheads. So that way it becomes easy for me, and I don't have to search for entire topic again and again on the internet, because once I've researched everything on my own, and then I just have to bifurcate the information. Okay. Next, after for example, for the next part, that to structure it, you can use different AI tools. For example, in some topics we don't get much information on the internet, so you can use definitely the help of different AI tools. Try usually not to restrict yourself to one AI tools like ChatGPT or Claude. Use a mix of different types of tools, and if you are any information from any AI tool, so just so I just want to show you some of the research papers that of mine and some of my friends, that to show you that how the research paper actually looks like. So just let me know if my screen is visible. Is it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. See, this is the first research paper. This is the first research paper. As you can see that at the very face of it, it looks very visually appealing. It has perfect use of all the colors. It has the name of the branch at the bottom. the Kolhapur branch, and the topic at the middle. Yeah, so moving on, see, like in this, there is a perfect use of header. There is a perfect use of footer. On the footer part, it includes the session, name of the session, and the page number. Okay? And then the entire topic is divided into heads, then subheads, and even the subheads have information presented in bullet points. Some of the information that you think that can be presented in the form of graphs or in the form of pictures, you can even present it in the form of pictures. See, there is the use of this table. It could be presented in the form of simple bullet points, but to make it look more appealing and make it look like that you have actually put effort in your paper, you can even present it in this way. That is because all of the researches, the information available on the internet is limited. All of the people have same type of information that is available, but how you present it in such a way that it looks that you actually put effort for your paper is what distinguishes you from the ones getting selected and from the ones not getting selected. So see, the entire information is divided into different points. This is the main head, and these are later the subheads. The margins are properly kept here, and there is proper space as it does not look very congested. Okay. So this is example of one paper, but there is this another example of paper which looks very professional. It does not have use of colors. It does not have it's a very different way of presenting, but this is still the paper that got selected in a conference. So see, this again has different heads and different subheads. Then there was proper header and footer. There was proper margin, and the most important thing, the best thing about this paper, that it already had a table of contents at the start. Again, as mentioned at the last, there was a brief profile about the achievements of the presenter. See, this person has been the best paper presenter at various conferences and has even presented paper and has represented himself in national talent search competitions. One of the things that we usually forget to keep in the paper is including the references. That is from where you have researched your content. If this particular section is included, it gives an impression to the evaluator that you have also put the links to the websites or the links to the pages that from where you have used the information. This is the third paper, which is my own paper. Like mentioned, I have starting in the put the entire information about my paper. There is this brief profile of mine and the details and the aim and objective that what I want to portray through this information. So all of these three things are three different style of presenting the paper, but these all three are the ones that got selected. So there is no particular, there is a set format through which you can prepare your research paper, but at the end, it all boils down to your own creativity, that how you want to present your information in a way. So yeah, that's all. Thank you so much. I hope this was valuable. I now pass on the mic to the moderator.
Thank you, Vedi, for such insightful guidance. One thing that become very clear from this session is strong research is what gives real depth to any presentation. Now let us move towards understanding the opening act of the presentation, PPT, and audience engagement technique. For that, I would like to invite Charu for the next segment. Charu.
Good evening, everyone. I am Charu Keval Ramani, a CA finalist currently pursuing her industrial training at DE Shaw. I was recently awarded the Best Paper Presenter at the National Conference Nirviman 2025, and I've been fortunately recognized as Best PPT Presenter, along with first prize in National Talent Search Elocution Contest. And today I'm here to talk about something students usually remember at the very last moment and go like, "Ye bhi banana hota hai kya?" The video submission and the PPT part of a paper presentation. I'd appreciate if you could turn on your cameras and make this session a bit more interactive. Coming forward, in almost every conference, if you're applying as a paper presenter, you're usually required to submit your research paper, a PPT, which can be optional, but you have to present a PPT when you're on stage, and a short video for your selection. And this video is generally an introduction of yourself with a short explanation of your research paper and your core idea. Now, here's the thing. The video is not something that gets presented during the conference. The audience there usually sees only your PPT while you present live. But the video that is for the selectors, that is basically your entry ticket. And honestly, that video is like half the battle won. Because before selectors decide whether they want you on stage, they watch the video. And after watching multiple submissions continuously, every video starts sounding like "Good evening, respected judges," blah, blah, blah. So your aim is not just to explain your topic. Your aim is to make the selectors think, okay, I want to see this person live. Your video should feel like Squid Game ka first season ka ending. Not the whole story, just enough excitement for the selectors to want the next episode, which is your actual stage presentation. What actually matters here is the clarity, confidence, the structure, good audio, proper lighting, and an interesting flow. And we could also make the interesting beginning, because actors are human beings too. After watching hundreds similar introductions, they also need something interesting. So maybe start with a question, a relatable situation, a surprising statistic, or a quote, something that makes them instantly attentive. Now, coming to the PPT part, the actual star of your conference presentation. Please remember this line. Your PPT is not your research paper copy pasted onto slides with animations. If your slides are full paragraphs, endless bullet points, and font sizes smaller than working notes, that is not a presentation, that's an eye test. Your PPT should simplify your research, make it visual, and help the audience flow your explanation and understand it easily. You know how Shah Rukh Khan says, "Zindagi lambi nahi, badi honi chahiye"? That's exactly how your PPT should be. Impactful. Use graphs, diagrams, flowcharts, highlights. Because during conferences, audiences are listening to presentations continuously for 2-3 days. Nobody is praying कि भाई एक और text heavy slide देखने को मिल जाए. And honestly, adding personality helps. For example, I had included actual memes in my presentation, and those became the slides that people remembered the most. Because one relatable moment instantly refreshes the audience. Now, obviously, balance does matter. What we want is wow, what a creative presentation. And lastly, please read all the conference guidelines very carefully. Every conference has specific rules regarding the video duration, PPT format, the file format that is supposed to submit in, and the entire submission process. Because sometimes students do everything right and then upload in the wrong format. And then we blame fate while the real villain was the guideline. So yes, your research paper does matter, but your video gets selectors interested in you, and your PPT is what keeps the audience engaged on stage. Because after 2 days of conferences, people may forget exact section statistics, but they always remember the presentations that felt interesting, easy to follow, and enjoyable to watch. Also, one last thing. While sending these things, you're also required to share a declaration mentioning that you're eligible to present. We'll share these sample videos, PPT, and this declaration format with you in the group so that you can get a better understanding of all of these. Thank you.
Thank you, Charu. This session beautifully highlighted how presentation flow and audience engagement can completely change the energy of the presentation. And that brings us to the one of the most important aspect of our paper presentation, that is delivery and communication. For that, I would now like to invite Mudrika for this.
Hi, audible here? All right. Good evening. Thank you so much, Akshat. Good evening, everyone. I am Mudrika Jain, one of the speaker of this webinar. And how are you all doing? So before start, thank you so much, Akshat, one more time. So thank you. Because before starting with my content, I want to lay 2 rules for you all. Okay. Rule number 1, show me a thumbs up each time you agree with me. or when you have to say I am fine. And rule number 2 is that during my whole speech, okay, I want each one of you to imagine that you have cleared the round and has got selected. You have got a mail which says you have been selected to present the paper at the ICI Student National Conference. Okay? Now, since all of you have got selected, so there's one small reminder जो मैं सबको देना चाहती हूँ, and that is the presentation day is not the day to prepare. It is the day to present. Because जैसे we all are CA finalists and CA final के exams को crack करने के लिए हमको पहले preparation करनी पड़ेगी, and the same goes for the presentation. हमको उसके लिए पहले preparation करनी पड़ेगी. And अब इस preparation time के लिए I have my 2 non-negotiables. अब जब मैं तुमको ये 2 non-negotiables बता रही हूँ, tell me if you didn't catch a word and I'll repeat that for you again. But if you did not understand the reason कि मैंने ऐसा क्यों बोला, wait, hold on to that because I am going to justify it at the end of my speech. Okay? Yeah. So, non-negotiable number 1. Practice your content 100 number of times. And by practicing, I do not mean that you have to repeat the same words again and again and again. No. Practice how you're going to stand there, how you're going to walk, the jokes that you're going to crack, the pauses you are going to take. Practice every single thing so many times that the whole content stops feeling memorized to you and starts feeling natural. And जब तुम्हें पूरा prepare कर रहे हो, practice कर रहे हो, इसका जो first paragraph होना चाहिए, उसको तुमने इतना याद किया हुआ हो, I would say रट्टा मारा हुआ हो, कि ना अगर कोई तुमसे आधी रात को भी पूछे ना कि सुन वो first paragraph क्या था, तुमको वो याद हो. इतना ज्यादा तुमने उस first paragraph में अपना ध्यान दिया हुआ हो, बाकी तो याद करना ही है. And non-negotiable number 2. While you are practicing, imagine yourself standing on a stage in an auditorium full of people. Got it? 2 non-negotiables. First, practice. Second, imagine. Now, practice period over हो गया. Finally, the conference day has arrived. अब backstage पे nervousness feel होना, sweaty palms, jittery, सब normal है. It happens to everyone. ठीक है? Like if I tell you my experience, मैं तो backstage पे इतना डरी हुई थी कि वहाँ पीछे जो मेरे firm mates थे और मेरी friend थी, मैंने उनको मेरा content 10 बार सुनाया होगा शायद. And my friend, she constantly reminded me कि मुद्रिका, we both know that you have sincerely worked hard for this. And आगे result कुछ भी हो, you are going to be a blast on the stage. And you know what? Actually, it worked for me. If I have to give you one tip here, तो this अब ये जो इतना positive talk था, my friend did it for me. You can do it for yourself, but self talk करके अपने आप को बार बार याद दिला के कि नहीं तुमने इसके लिए मेहनत की है. And you deserve to be here and you're going to be a blast on the stage. Okay? Now, finally your name has been called, you are felicitated and it's your turn to speak. Now, here comes my tip number 2. It is very important that before you start speaking, you have your audience attention because it creates the confidence. And ये जितना important है, ये उतना ही easy है. कैसे? Like Charu said, कि ना तुम कुछ भी कर सकते हो. तुम है ना कोई जोक क्रैक कर सकते हो, क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हो, तुम कोई फैक्ट स्टेट कर सकते हो, तुम कोई मीम रेफरेंस दे सकते हो, और यू कैन डू व्हाट आई डिड कि मैंने तो गाना चला देता. लाइक बिफोर स्टार्टिंग विद माय कंटेंट आई प्लेड अ सॉन्ग and that instantly grabbed the attention of the whole room and our purpose was solved there. This was the thing. अब क्या होता है कि ना कभी कभार, I would say काफी बार, कि ना हम ब्लैंक हो जाते हैं. हमको समझना नहीं है कि यार वो लाइन क्या थी, वो फर्स्ट वर्ड क्या था, इस चीज को मैंने कैसे डिलीवर करना सोचा था, वो याद नहीं आता है. एंड ट्रस्ट मी, आई हैड बीन इन दीज सिचुएशंस. जब मैं स्कूल टाइम पे मैं करती थी प्रेजेंट, तो मुझे बहुत ऐसे ना भूल जाते थे, बहुत ऑकवर्ड साइलेंस होता था जिसकी वजह से कॉन्फिडेंस लूज होता है. एंड टू क्रैक दिस थिंग, आई हैव माय 2 non-negotiables which I've already discussed. अब जब तुम्हारे पास वो awkward silence हो, तो non-negotiable number 1, तुमने बहुत प्रैक्टिस किया हुआ है तुम्हारा फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ. अब जब तुम वो अपना फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ बोलोगे ना, क्योंकि इतना प्रैक्टिस किया हुआ है, इट विल कम नेचुरली टू यू. तुमको उसमें इतना एफर्ट्स नहीं डालना पड़ेगा. एंड ट्रस्ट मी, इट इज ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड कि वो अच्छे से ही बोलोगे तुम उसको, वो खराब नहीं हो सकता है. एंड उस टाइम जब तुम वो फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ बोल रहे हो, उस टाइम तुम्हारे पूरे सराउंडिंग से कंफर्टेबल हो रहे हो थोड़ा थोड़ा. व्हाई? Because of non-negotiable number 2, that imagine yourself being on the stage. अब क्योंकि तुमने उस मोमेंट को अपने इमेजिनेशन में इतनी बार जी लिया है कि अब जब वो रियलिटी है, इट विल नॉट कम टू यू एज अ शॉक. तो उस वजह से वो पूरा सिचुएशन तुम मैनेज कर लोगे एंड योर होल प्रेजेंटेशन विल फ्लो स्मूथ. नाउ हियर कम्स माय टिप नंबर 3. अब मैंने तुम्हें जितना भी अभी तक बताया सारा कुछ, वो सारा साइड कैरेक्टर है. द मेन हीरो इज योर कंटेंट, जो बहुत सॉलिड होना चाहिए. क्योंकि अगर तुम्हारे हीरो में हीरो वाली क्वालिटीज नहीं है ना, तो जो साइड कैरेक्टर है उसके दम पे मूवी ब्लॉकबस्टर नहीं बनती है. एंड दैट्स इट फ्रॉम माय साइड. थैंक यू सो मच एवरीबॉडी.
Thank you, Mudrika. This session showed us how important delivery is. Confidence and stage presence are important in creating a strong impact. Now let us move towards the communication aspect of paper presentation. For that, I would like to invite Abdi.
Hello, everyone. Am I audible? Hi, everyone. I'm Avdi Jain, and I'm currently in my second year of articleship, and I'm doing my articleship from S. Bhandari and Company LLP. I have presented paper twice, once in Jaipur, and I guess most of you know me because of that. And second time, it was in Ghaziabad, where I was fortunate enough that I got the best paper presenter there. Alongside the paper presentation part, I have been into debating circus, and I have represented CIRC region and nationals, and I have been the regionals winner as well. And now let's move on to the communication part. Mudrika told us about the delivery, the pre-prep of the presentation, the backstage jitters that you have, the shivering of your hands, everything. Now, before starting your presentation, before, when once you are called onto the stage that, I would like to call Avdi Jain onto the stage, you have that raise of heartbeat, ki, oh my God, this is my moment, this is the spotlight. One thing is to carry a smile. Smile. हंसते चेहरे सबको अच्छे लगते हैं, and smile is the key to your confidence. Smile is the key to attract the audience. Maybe आपके फेलो प्रेजेंटर्स जैसे कि मुद्रिका है, उनने एक सॉन्ग चला दिया, शिट यार मेरी प्रेजेंटेशन में तो ये नहीं है, या मेरे से जस्ट पहले वाली प्रेजेंटेशन में उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा ऑडियंस इंटरेक्शन किया, शिट यार मेरे पास वो भी नहीं है, क्या करूं? Just smile and look at the people around you. Now I have a little trick here. This is a cheat code, I'd say. This is not any technique, no tip. अगर तुम्हारी होम सिटी है, make sure that 5 of your friends are sitting in the front row so that you can see them, and कहीं पे भी डर लग रहा है, look at them कि वो अच्छे लोग हैं, वो मेरी बात सुन रहे हैं. Thank you for the reaction. And second, moving on, once you're seated, आप बैठे हो, session speaker है, maintain a calm posture, maintain a poisedness there, because you are visible to all of them, and audience judge you through your facial expressions. Your face is the index of your mind. If you are nervous, it will show you, it will get on your face, and especially if I'm there, I'm very expressive on my face. So in Jaipur, I'd share my experience. I was sharing panel with the legend Deep sir, and I was hell nervous. It was first time presenting, my fellow participants were too good, and I had that resting bitch face on कि अब तो कुछ नहीं हो सकता है. And one of my office friends texted me, Abdi, please hustle, तू दिख रही है बड़ी बड़ी. I was like, oh shit. I just looked at this, कि oh मैं दिख रही हूँ पीछे, and I moved again and smiled. And there's when you get a confidence, inner confidence आ जाता है कि यार जो होगा देखा जाएगा, हंसो अभी. Max to max मेरे को कोई नहीं जानता, मेरी speech कोई नहीं जानता. It's me who have to present the topic. Now my second tip for the communication part goes a little पीछे वाला, back end में जाएगा. Know the audience, know the stage you're walking on. Know, for example, sometimes you have a very big stage where you can cover आगे पीछे and left and right. So you have a big space, you can move towards पूरा stage cover कर सकते हो आप. It's your choice to use a podium or not. But अगर कोई बड़ा stage है, it's a personal advice कि पूरा stage cover करो. It looks engaging. अगर आपके पास कोई भी audience interaction नहीं है, just by moving around, just by looking into the audience, you have that interaction. चलने से आपको audience में आंखों से बनाने में सिर्फ ये होगा कि ऐसा लगेगा कि आप बात कर रहे हो, और सबको बातें करना बहुत पसंद है. Most of the people like me, जिन्हें तो बात करो audience से through your presentation. Make sure that the presentation is not too many words, just like Charu said, and उसमें meta references हो, so that छोटी छोटी बातें आप क्लिक कर सको. हाँ, तो moving on कि आपको stage पे चलना है. Now sometimes you will have a big stage and sometimes you do not have a stage. मेरे साथ दोनों चीजें हुई हैं. In Jaipur, I had a very, very big stage, so I could cover like पूरा मैंने stage cover किया. But while in Ghaziabad, I did not have a, मेरे को बस एक step चलने की भी जगह नहीं थी. It was only 3 to left, 3 to right. सिर्फ इतना सा space था. तो take the opportunity and move into the audience. वहाँ पे आपको देखना पड़ेगा कि मेरे fellow presenters ने शायद ये नहीं किया, या मैंने या किसी और ने नहीं किया, या मेरे पास जगह कम है. Make sure I did that कि मैं audience में चली गई थी. So that made कि somebody has come, कुछ तो हो रहा है. Presentation पीछे चलेगी, you move into the audience, you make it interactive. छोटे छोटे on the spot चीजें हो जाती हैं. Second and the most underrated part of the presentation is usage of props. Props use करने चाहिए. Once when I was talking to Vaidehi, it was my first presentation and I called her, Vaidehi, I'm so scared, please guide me what to do. And believe me, what she told you right now, word to word उन्होंने मुझे बताया था कि अभी ऐसा अभी वैसा. And props का भी इन्होंने ही mention किया था. I once talked to one of my other friends as well, and she said कि मैंने सूरत present किया था, वहाँ पे एक जने ने ना रेत use की थी time को दिखाने के लिए. So which is a very creative move. Make sure that your presentation, the presentation part, the communication part is creative enough to grab the attention of the audience. Because in the end, audience जैसा react करेगी, आपको वो पता होना चाहिए, वो ही आपका major point है. Marking scheme में सबसे ज़्यादा number होते हैं interaction के, confidence के. Usage of props, I used मंदिर की घंटी as one of my props because line थी कि subscribe करते वक्त घंटी बजी नहीं बजी, दिमाग की घंटी बज जानी चाहिए. Right now I don't have that, but जरूर उसे घंटी बजाना, और वो session speaker को भी याद रहेगी. Know the audience first of all, know the stage second of all. Third is know the session speaker. Now session speaker आपका ऐसे भी हो सकते हैं जो just like मेरे थे, BB sir. The energy was too much into the room. The audience was waiting to hear him. तो आप अगर session speaker, अगर paper presenters पहले बोलते तो audience इतना interest नहीं लेती because उन्हें BB sir को सुनना है. तो make sure that कि आप अपने presentation इस way में दो कि सामने वाला इंतजार ना करे session speaker का. Make sure that the energy in the room जो already है वो आपको आपके positive end में चले. And third and the last point I would cover would be keep a smile and know your friends and make sure that you have friends all. अगर आप outstation presentations में भी जाते हो तो make sure that you have friends there. Make sure that CASA members are your friends. Make sure that anybody is your friend, and through networking you can do that. अगर आप freshly apply कर you know nobody, still because you are applying, make sure that you call those people, make friends with them, because बाहर जाके ना आपको सबसे पहले तो इतना वीआईपी ट्रीटमेंट मिलता है कि ओ माय गॉड जमाई राजा आ गए हैं, तो बहुत अच्छा ट्रीटमेंट मिलेगा। और कासा कासा पीपल आर गोना ट्रीट यू सो वेल। मेक श्योर दैट यू मेक फ्रेंड्स विद देम, बिकॉज अनजान शहर में दो दोस्त भी अच्छे लगते हैं, दो दोस्त भी अपने लगते हैं, which will give you the confidence. And yes, maintain a smile. हंसते चेहरे सबको अच्छे लगते हैं। Thank you. That's all from my side.
Thank you, Abdi. We understood how important clear communication and audience connection are during presentation. And now let's move towards the final segment, covering common mistakes to avoid and jury expectations. For that, I would like to invite Krish again.
Thank you, Manshu. So, all right, welcome back, everyone. So, I want to start with a hard truth. Most students who participate in paper presentations, they work hard. Like for me, as an example, I worked really hard. मैं रात में जगा हूँ, मैंने मेरी स्क्रिप्ट बहुत अच्छे से प्रिपेयर की है, मैंने उसको बार-बार रिसाइट की in front of mirror. And every other participant, trust me, does the same thing. And then they walk into that room and they make the same mistakes that students have been making for years. Mistakes that cost them their marks, mistakes that cost them their win. It's like studying really hard for an exam, sitting down at the desk, and then writing your name on the wrong paper. The effort was real, the result not ideal. Let's fix that today. Today, I'm your insider. I'm going to tell you exactly what are those mistakes. And then this is the part most people never get to hear. I'm going to tell you exactly how the jury evaluates you, the actual criteria, so you know what they are looking for and you can give them to. Like जैसे हम एग्जाम्स के लिए भी प्रिपेयर करते हैं, हम सारे प्रोज एंड कॉन्स, सारी स्ट्रैटेजीज हम सब एक पीस ऑफ पेपर पे लिखते हैं. वैसे आई वांट यू ऑल to write those mistakes which I will be going to tell you now and follow me. So let's get into it. Part 1. The 6 deadly mistakes. Mistake 1. Reading from your slides. भाई ये बहुत जेन्युइन मिस्टेक है एंड जो भी लोग पेपर प्रेजेंट करते हैं यूजुअली ये मिस्टेक ऑलमोस्ट हर पेपर प्रेजेंटर की प्रेजेंटेशन में होता ही होता है. लाइक this is the number one killer of your paper presentation. You have seen it. Someone walks up, puts you up your slide and just read it. The jury is not impressed. The audience is bored. And here's the brutal truth. If you are just reading it, you should not read your presentation. Reading your slides word by word is basically telling the jury, I prepared a document. Would you like me to be the human audio version of it? They would not. Know your content. Talk to your audience. The fix? Your slides are your cue cards, not your script. Know your content so that, well, the slide just reminds you of what to say next. Talk to the audience, not to the screen. Mistake number 2, ignoring time limits. Every presentation has a fixed time limit, and every year, students either finish in 4 minutes, looking like they had nothing to say, or they go way over and get cut off mid-sentence. Both are disasters. Going over time in a paper presentation is like someone asking you, how are you? And you respond with the entire life story. Nobody asked for it. Respect the time limit. It's not a suggestion. The fix? Time yourself multiple times. Aim to finish within 20 seconds before the limit stops. That buffer shows control and confidence. Mistake 3. No structure, no flow. Some presentations feel like a connection of random facts thrown together. There is no story, no thread connecting one point to the next. The best presentations follow a clear arc: problem, analysis, solution, and conclusion. The fix: write your presentation flow before you build your slides. If it doesn't make sense as a written online, it won't make sense on the stage either. Mistake number 4, weak opening and closing. Students spend 90% of the presentation time on the content in the middle and completely neglect the beginning at the end. As Avdi said, communication बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. आप जब तक अपनी audience को ही hook नहीं कर पाओगे, तो आप उनका attention कैसे लोगे? So the opening and closing is very crucial. This is called serial position effect. Starting a presentation with, so basically my topic is like a movie that opens with someone waking up, yawning, and making tea. Technically, it's a beginning, but nobody's excited. Open with a bang, close with something they'll remember. The fix: open with a shocking statistic, a bold question, or a real world case study. Close with a punchy 3-line summary and a memorable final statement. Mistake number 5, not being able to handle questions. After your presentation, usually the jury will ask you questions, and some students completely fall apart over there. Why? Because they memorize their script and they don't understand the topic. Memorizing your paper without understanding is like memorizing a restaurant menu in French when you don't speak French. You can say words perfectly, but the moment someone asks, "What does this actually taste like?" complete silence. Know your topic, just not your script. The fix: ask yourself, if I were on jury, what 5 questions I would ask? Prepare those answers. Like genuine questions. Read your scripts thoroughly and उसमें जाके सोचो कि अगर मैं jury में होता तो 5 questions क्या पूछता. And if you genuinely don't know something, say that's a great point. I would need to research further on that. Honesty scores higher than fake confidence. Mistake number 6, poor body language and voice. This one is subtle but deadly. Slouchy, speaking in monotone, talking too fast when nervous, looking at the floor. These all sign a lack of confidence and preparation. बात है, अगर आपको अपनी खुद की स्क्रिप्ट पे ही कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है तो ऑडियंस को कैसे कॉन्फिडेंस होगा? The jury is also a human. Remember that. They respond to the energy. A presenter who stands straight speaks with variation and eye contact. They are more believable, more memorable, and more impactful. Speaking in a monotone voice during a paper presentation is like putting a lullaby as your ringtone. Technically, it works, but everyone around you is going to fall asleep. Vary your pitch. Speed up for excitement. Slow down for impact. The fix: record yourself presenting once. Just once. Watch it back. You'll immediately spot the habits you don't know you had and fix them faster than any advice can achieve. Now, I'm coming to part 2. Jury criteria. What they're actually scoring. Now, the part everyone wishes they knew going on. How does the jury actually score you? First, the content quality. It is approximately between 30 to 35%. Is your research enough? Are your arguments logical? Do you use credible data, government reports, RBI data, ICI publications, peer-reviewed sources? Shallow content scores poorly. Deep, well-referenced analysis scores high. Cite your sources. Use real numbers. Don't make claims you can't back up. Second, presentation skills. It is between 20 to 35%. This covers your delivery, clarity of speech, confidence, eye contact, pace, and engagement. The jury is evaluating whether you can communicate your knowledge, not just possess it. Practice out loud, not just in your head. There's a massive difference. Like आप कमरे में एक मिरर के सामने अपनी स्पीच रिसाइट कर रहे हो एंड कंपेयर टू आप एक प्रेजेंटेशन दे रहे हो इन फ्रंट ऑफ ह्यूज ऑडियंस एंड जूरी, उन दोनों में बहुत फर्क होता है. सो माय प्रो टिप इज कि आप कमरे में भी उतनी प्रैक्टिस करो अपनी स्पीच की, प्लस स्पीक इट विद एटमोस्ट कॉन्फिडेंस. लाइक एवरी वर्ड तुम जो कह रहे हो you should mean it. Now third, originality and analytical thinking. That scores is around 20%. The jury has heard hundreds of papers on common topics. What they love is a fresh angle, a unique comparison, an unexpected insight, a solution nobody else has proposed. Not just summarize existing knowledge, add your own analysis. What I think about this and why. Answer that in your paper. Like the audience should get actual solutions कि तुम बोलना क्या चाह रहे हो. Fourth, slide design and visual appeal, 10 to 15%. A clean, professional PPT signals that you care about your work. Messy, overcrowded slides suggest a rush preparation. Less is more. White space is your friend. Every chart should have a clear light and labeled areas. Fifth and the last one, Q&A handling, 10 to 15%. This is where many candidates lose marks they earned in their main presentation. You know your topic, not just your script. Prepare for follow-up questions. And first of all, stay calm. A composed, thoughtful answer under pressure impresses jury enormously. Now, let me leave you with one thought. The students who win these competitions, they don't just have better topics. They don't just have fancy slides. And they definitely don't win by hoping the jury is in a good mood that day. Though, I mean, bringing samosas to the jury room couldn't hurt. But just kidding, please don't do that. They prepare like professionals and they present like they belong there. You know the 6 mistakes to completely avoid now and the exact 5 criteria the jury uses to score you. That is an unfair advantage, and now it's yours. Go out there, present with total confidence, and make your CA journey count. Thank you so much, everyone. You have been a truly wonderful audience.
Thank you, Krish. This session gave us practical insights about how to present against a jury. And with this, we will move towards our questionnaire round. So guys, ask your questions. Shoot up. So Kushal asked, it's the best way to
I'd like to actually answer that. See, it is human to fumble. It's not that we didn't. I think even today itself, some of us fumble. But if you keep a smile and if you accept the fact that it is normal and you just say the word again, it is okay. Once you like keep practicing, you overcome like a lot of fumbles. Like you won't fumble a lot of times if you have practiced it thoroughly. But even if you do on the stage, accept that it is completely normal and there is like no negative marking for it. Sometimes हम ऐसा सोचते हैं कि अरे fumble बहुत ही बड़ी गलती हो गई और हमसे तो बुरा कोई है ही नहीं, पर ऐसा नहीं होता है. We're humans, we fumble and that is completely okay. Keep a smile, have confidence.